We think awkwardly and personal emotions continually interrupt us. We feel resentment and our thought streaks and breaks up like a picture on a television screen. G said, "You always think, think, think." I look. Of course, we are not thinking, not really. We feel we have to say something instead of looking, say, at the tree. We are unaccustomed to real thought. Our thought is so very awkward, so clumsy and confused, a fitting together of everything wrongly, in triumph, like an idiot child smashing up things with an evil pleasure. Some only have destructive thinking, some can only disagree and call this thinking, some always side with the minority out of a sort of cussedness and call this thinking. Many never know what they are thinking, most call association thinking. Then again, one's theory of life may be utterly wrong and all one's resulting thoughts wrong. For if the ideas of one's thoughts are wrong, one's thinking, which proceeds from one's ideas, will be all wrong. If you think from the ideas of the work, your thinking will begin to be right. To think from the ideas of the work instead of your previous ideas is metanoia, that is, change of mind, not repentance, as it is wrongly translated. To drive away your previous ways of thinking cleanses the dirt from the mind and you begin to catch its beauty. The battle goes to and fro for long. It is not really you who are fighting it, but it seems that you encounter one phase of tempting after another, or testing if you prefer. It is one's Armageddon. Always reinforcements from natural thinking from the senses march up and seem to swamp you, and they will if you believe internally that nature somehow created itself and that there is no meaning and only blind forces exist and all the rest. Your thinking will be upside down. You will then be restless and unhappy just because you see nothing above nature. Where there is no meaning, you necessarily sicken and perish. Violence and ugliness and cruelty attract you, the lowest meanings. Man lives by meaning. This work transmits more and more meaning in proportion as the mind is cleansed from this dirt of wrong thinking and feeling, for it opens out. To think upside down is silly. It is to explain the higher by the lower. You then say that matter is first and the mind somehow arises. The work says mind is first. It says in so many words that before the beginning of time, mind is, not was, but is, for was belongs to time. It indicates that mind as the absolute is outside and beyond all time, and so is free from all the imperfections of time experienced by our limited being. It indicates that the higher creates the lower on every successive level in the total scale of being. Nothing creates itself. All created things receive meaning according to their level of being, which determines their receptivity of meaning. All meaning is derived from absolute meaning, which is infinite, and so is not in time, and so is not created. To be created is to be limited, and the absolute is under no limited conditions. The descent of meaning from level to level, from higher to lower successively, never ceases, and is different at each level. Because of this, the transformation of meaning is possible and can be experienced by man as his level of being changes. Where he had seen one thing obscurely, he then sees 1,000 things distinctly. In this work, we seek transformation of meaning through self-change. This is possible and can be experienced, but not if we cling to former meanings and indulge unchecked in self-emotions and negative criticizing and feeling. A definite line of work on our level of being is laid down in the work teaching. If it is genuinely practiced over a sufficient time, we begin to look back with surprise on the former meanings we lived by. This marks the beginning of a change in our level of being, owing to some degree of transformation of meaning. As we are raised in being, so is meaning transformed. If we fall back, the old meanings return. This up and down motion keeps on until a step is definitely reached. Then it will begin again so as to reach the next step. At each step, new meanings flow in and old meanings shrink. We begin to think differently. We see the awkward clumsiness of our former thinking and know it was not thinking at all. We begin to see how wonderfully delicate and silent the movements of real thinking are, how nothing must ever be forced, nothing joined which so clearly does not belong, nothing put in out of order or scale. We see this tragedy of our previous thinking, the wrong connecting of things, the crude violence of it, the cruel muddling up of things. The same insight into our former feelings is also opened. But if the old habits of mind and feeling persist, none of all this can take place. Maurice Nicoll